Cancer.
Hello Cancer, this is your January astrology forecast for 2017. We got a brand new year that's opening up just beautifully with your hopes, dreams, the aspirations that you have. It's a spiritual way to open up the year too, because Neptune is being conjuncted by Mars, which is infusing your dreams, your goals and ambitions for this year. Now this conjunction, we spoke a little bit about it when we were looking at the overall forecast for the full year of 2017, but I'm going to start on it here too now, which is in your 9th house. This means that this is a year where you're really shooting your arrow towards long-term targets. The 9th house is all about your higher education, your belief systems. It has to do with foreign people and places, countries, traveling, visas, green cards, or also publishing, getting the word out, right? So for those of you who are somehow affiliated in any of these areas, you'll come to see that that Mars is really going to be loaded. And it's also preparing for its journey when it gets into your 10th house, which we're going to talk about next month there, February. I'm already looking at your charts for that, and it's looking awesome. But the main focus also is always where your sun is, right? Because the sun is the essence of you. And for January, it's focused in the 7th house, which has to do with relationships. It's how we relate, what we share, what we receive, how we discuss the things of partnerships, balances within those partnerships. And of course, we have Mercury retrograde in this area until January 8th. This gives you a little time to go back over what worked and also seemingly, excuse me, those things that didn't work. And if it didn't work, now is the time to kind of weed out those things. That's what retrogrades are good for. It allows us to slow down just enough to catch up with all of those small momentums that took place. So between having the Sun, Mercury retrograde, and Pluto in the area of your relationships, excuse me, allergies, this is allowing you now to also go through a annual, should I say, purging, because Pluto will purge everything that no longer needs to be with us, but it powers up and really fuses a sense of transformation, which is going to allow you to feel that much more empowered by the end of January. Once the Sun passes Pluto, once Mercury passes that Pluto, well listen, you're good to go like a Sputnik for the rest of the year until the Sun gets back in this area. We also have Venus finishing its journey through your 8th house of intimacy. So yes, you are seeing relationship energies are still here at work. It's how, again, how we're relating and sharing and finding the balance of cutting to the core, because the 8th house is a Scorpion house, which really allows us to get down into the core of what we feel is right and just and so forth. This Venus will only be in this area for until January 4th. Then it's going to move into the 9th house, which it really enjoys that energy, because why? It's Jupiter that rules this area. And Venus and Jupiter, when they get together, well, they have a lot of fun. They play very well together. It's a time of more generosity, expansion, looking at possibilities, at options, opportunities. You might even be traveling a lot more here in January after the 4th, when Venus gets her wings into it. Then we have the moons. Let's talk about that, because you have a full moon this month in your sign, Cancer. And for you, that will be in the 1st house. That's January 12th. This is the stage that's going to be illuminated and flooded. And that is all about how you feel about yourself, what you're bringing out, what you're really taking in, how you're feeling about your true values too. The things that you have been working for may now be under the spotlight. So you get this full moon in your sign once a year, and it will be 14 degrees for those of you who have your sun or any personal planets at that degree. Might just feel extra in a great, great place. The new moon where we plant our seeds is 0 degrees in Aquarius. So for you, Cancerians, it will be in your 8th house for mutual funds, the money that you share with your partner, but it could also be now planting seeds for more money to come in, not necessarily as a paycheck at the end of the month, but more so money derived from commissions and royalties and so forth, or also setting aside money, saving money. So this is a great time. This is January 27th, mind you, the new moon. And for those of you who listen to your moon and rising sign, you can find out where exactly this moon is going to hit in other areas of your chart, which can actually come to balloon and grow the areas of the seeds from this new moon. But here in your sign, it's going to be in the 8th house. So think about how can you save more money, put aside, or grow some investment funds and so forth. That should be super extra exciting for you, Cancer, because we know how security is really important to you, right? We have Mars is also going to be changing signs this month. It is currently in the sign of Pisces. It starts out January 1st there with Neptune, but then on the 27th, it is moving into your career house. So be prepared. Mars is powering up, and you will come to see that February is going to be a great month for it. And whatever transits and aspects it's going to create there in February will tell you just how successful the beginning of the year can be for you. And so, of course, more on that later in your February reading. But Mars being in the sign of Aries is a powerful placement because it rules Aries, so it's like a double whammy force, and it's in that area of your career. So that's the last few days of January. You're going to feel that shift, but anything you do between now and then, as it's cruising through your 9th house, is all about laying the grounds for it. If you're needing to do any research, Cancer, now is the time here in January to do so. Prepare yourself. If you're going to have interviews or looking for perhaps maybe even a promotion, you want to be prepared. Mars will help you do that. Get that research, which the 9th house is all positive and good about. But as we go through January, we have beautiful aspects this month, which is really going to not just jolt you ahead, but also with leaps and bounds. There's some very nice transformations this month. But then we also have a couple of dates that we need to look at where you're going to be served a few decisions to make, all right? And you don't want to really jump to these decisions because they're squared. We want to wait till the aspects open up and give you that feeling of conviction. So we're going to go through that. Get your notepad out. So on the 1st, Mars, Neptune, your hopes, dreams, ambitions, your visions being infused, sending you off on wings to January 3rd, where this is a great money day to have negotiations or talks and so forth, or good news just about money, perhaps maybe even coming in. On the 7th, we have Pluto and the Sun, and we spoke about when they meet. That is a transformational date. You have that once a year when the Sun meets up with Pluto. So that's the 7th for you and in the area of your relationships. On the 10th, however, something unexpected might come to your attention. I feel it could be from the area of your work or your career. Not really upsetting. It might just be a little hiccup, but the good thing is that Mercury now is direct, okay, so we're moving forward. But then we have the 11th. Mars and Pluto will sextile. That is you and your energy joining forces with Pluto to actually power through something. You have a lot of physical drive, energy, passion, whatever your goal is. I see how these energies are actually not just helping you move forward, but it's really launching you forward. Power Day on the 11th. On the 12th, we have Venus, which is love and money, of course, romance. It also rules all things that we desire. It is here conjunct to Neptune. This is only once a year they come together, and Neptune being the higher degree or octave of Venus makes it super spiritual, makes it super romantic. This is definitely a date that you would like to circle on your calendar for a dream date with your loved one. And should you be single, well, don't sit at home. You could just come to meet maybe a soulmate or a twin flame, because it's a very spiritual, energetic vibration that can just draw you together. On the 19th, we're up against that decision time making, like I mentioned earlier, Cancer. Mars and Saturn. Mars wants to act. It wants to move its energy. Saturn's putting up the red stop sign saying, hold a minute. And Saturn's asking you to question yourself. Are you sure you really want to go this direction? We all have those days in between where suddenly we come to this halt, right? And Saturn can feel heavy, and it can feel like it restrains us, and we can get frustrated with Saturn, but always remember, Saturn is there to look out for you so that you can make secure choices in your life. So when we get a stop sign, well, just stop for the day today. This is the 19th, and ask yourself about that direction Mars is wanting to carve out. And you're not going to have to wait long to make that decision, because already the day after, on the 20th, we have Venus and Pluto coming in. Venus rules money, rules those things that we desire, and it rules love and passion. And oh, we'll talk about passion. Pluto is the planet of major passion. This is a great day where you're going to feel good about yourself, where things come together. If you had that little hiccup of having to make some decisions on the 19th, well, the 20th is going to give you that sense of conviction. And that's when we want to act, when we feel at one with all our choices and not split and divided. So the 20th is a great day to move forward, to initiate, to begin anything new. At the 23rd, even more so, I feel you're going to get confirmation on what you have chosen, because there's a conversation taking place on the 23rd between Mercury, which is communication. Neptune is your vision, your hopes, your dreams. So if you've been sensing your way, well, here you're going to get some great feedback from whoever is important around you on this day. It's also a very romantic day to bring up your emotions, your feelings. It's a great day to compose if you're a composer, music. Neptune rules the arts, all the arts, right? So you might just feel that you're channeling a whole lot, so don't lose that opportunity. On the 27th, that's the next date that we want to be a little bit aware of, the second stop sign of the month, where Venus now is up against Saturn. So Saturn's going to put up that red light and say, so is this truly where you want to go with your emotions? Or is this truly where you want to go with spending your money? Are you sure you want this? Are you sure you need it? So whenever in doubt, I always say that, whenever in doubt, don't act. It means you're not fully aligned with the information that you need to make a safe and sound decision. You're not going to have to wait long either for this. Say, for example, you're wanting to invest into something and it looks good, but you're kind of iffy. Well, on the 29th, Mercury will give you the information that you're seeking, coming up with a conjunction to Pluto. Pluto will transform that doubt into conviction, and you will know exactly which direction to take. I love that when it comes in just a day or two after. You know how the old saying always go, if you don't know, don't act, sleep on it, because the next day can bring you what you don't know today. So that's how we're ending the month. Plus on the 29th, when you have this powerful direction, Mars is also shifting out of your 9th house into your career house. So you will feel that you're stepping up here now as far as your career. This is the time, the best time of a 2-year cycle, Cancer, to focus on your career, all right? Once it's out of your 10th house, it won't be before 2018 before you get the next chance to really step it up. So if you're hoping to find that perfect job, to find an opportunity or get a promotion, this is the time to focus right there. But more on that when we get into February. So go listen to your moon and rising signs. I will see you next month.